We'll get started. So my name is Kate. I'm going to be teaching for you guys today. We're going to be going over the Command mobile app and learning how to navigate through that app itself and what all it can do. We will go ahead and let me just switch my screen share here so we can show my mobile device. So give me 1 second and we will swap that over. And of course, technology does not want to work today, so hold on here. Well, guys, give me 1 second. It looks like my phone is not connecting the way it's supposed to, so let me try one other thing and we'll get going. All right, guys, bear with me 1 more second.
Recording in progress.
So sorry about that. Just trying to make sure this is working. My normal screen share is not cooperating, so. Technology is not always our friend. All right, I think we are in business. Alrighty, so hopefully you can see my screen. If you can't, let me know. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing I want to cover with you guys is where to download the app. Now you'll see on my screen there are a couple different ones, and I do apologize if you hear background noise. I am home with a little one today, so I apologize in advance for that. So the first thing we want to do is go to the App Store, and we want to go to search. Now, once you're in search, you're going to search KW. And when we're searching KW, you're going to notice that there are 2 different apps at the top. You have the white background with the red KW. Now that is going to be your KW consumer app. That's going to be the app that you can send to clients. They can view properties, search for properties, save them, etc. The one we're going to focus on today is going to be the KW Command app, which you can see has a red square and a white KW. Now, generally, if you don't have those downloaded on your phone, they're going to say get, where it says update and open. However, mine says open because I already have it downloaded. And if you see one similar to this KW events where it has a cloud with a down arrow, that generally means you've previously had that app on your phone and you are reinstalling it. So once we go ahead and hit open, it's going to bring us to that app. Again, it's red with a white KW for the Command mobile app that we're using today. And the white one is going to be your consumer app. So that one is not an agent login. It's going to function for clients and friends, family, etc. But we're going to go ahead and click on that red and white one. And we are going to log in with our normal KW username and password. So this is going to be the logins that you use when you are logging in on the desktop to Command. They should work exactly the same. You will want to make sure there's no spaces or capitals are where they're supposed to be, etc. And we're going to go ahead and hit sign in. Now, once we are signed in, your screen here can look slightly different if you have already customized that. But we're going to go over the generic dashboard here. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the name in the top left corner. If we go ahead and click on that, you're going to notice that I have two profiles available. One of those is going to be my personal account for Scott Leroy. The other is a team account. So if you're not on a team, you're not going to see that you have a second profile there. So that's totally okay. It's going to show which one is the default and allow you to change those if you'd like to. And then right below those profiles, you'll see that you have a profile. Now that's going to allow you to update your personal information. You can edit this and make some edits. It's not going to allow you to make all of the edits that you can on the desktop. However, most of them that are going to be the most important, it will allow you to update. So just some simple stuff here. If we go back, our next option is the My Business card. So this is going to bring a QR code for you. It's going to have a basic contact card that's going to add them to the mobile device's contacts if that were to be scanned or shared. Now we get a lot of questions with the business card here if a photo can be added, your headshot's not feeding over. Unfortunately, with this digital business card, it does not include a headshot. That's just not something that it currently allows for. But it is going to share your name, your phone number, email, your basic social media accounts, things like that will be shared. And those can be edited within your marketing profile of Command. Adding a few more people. Now, if you were to click that share button, it is going to allow you to text that, email, share it through Facebook, social media, etc. Anything that you can generally share to from your mobile device, it is also going to let you share when doing that. I'm going to go ahead and back out of this. And the next thing we're going to take a look at is the next one that says share my KW app link. Now that is going to allow you to share your consumer app with clients, friends, and family. It's going to send them the branded app link to where when they download that, you are set as the agent. It will allow you to share that the same as the business card in text, email, etc., all of those various things. And then the last option we have is the log out. So I'm actually going to click back and go to our dashboard here. Now, a few other things on the dashboard, you'll see in the top right corner, we have manage layout. This is where we can adjust what we're seeing when we first log into our Command app. So do we want to see tasks at the top? Do we want to hide certain features that we don't want to see? So for example, let's say we want to hide most active. We can click on that little eyeball and it's going to hide that from the home screen. We can also adjust these. If we don't want to see our tasks at the top, we can hold down on those 6 dots to the left and we can drag that down to where it belongs so that we can easily see that when we log into our Command home screen. Other things here, you have tasks, your open opportunities, things to know. So you'll see that there are birthdays, anniversaries, your profit share. Any of those you may not want to see when you're logged in, you can simply just hit that little eyeball and it will hide those. We can also reset this to the default for when this app was first downloaded. If we don't want to save any of these changes, we can of course do that. Once we have our home screen how we want, we can go ahead and hit save though. And it will immediately update that home screen. So it's going to remove anything we decided we don't want to see. It's also going to rearrange those. So tasks got bumped down. And any of these that have a blue like color, they're going to be hyperlinks. So if you were to click on those, it's going to take you into that section. So what I just did was click on leads never contacted, and I clicked on that little 7, and it immediately took me over to find that information within Command. Same thing for tasks. You can click on those. It will take you into them. Open opportunities, birthdays coming up, anniversaries. It will show all of that. You'll also see at the bottom, it shows 2 widgets hidden. That's going to let you know that there are 2 things that are available that you're not currently seeing. Just in the event you need to manage your layout, again, you certainly can. The last thing on this home screen that we want to point out is the plus sign in the bottom right corner. Now that plus sign is going to change as you are navigating through the app. So if you were to click on it at different points of the command app, it will show you different functions. Here on the home screen, we have the ability to add a new contact. We have the ability to add a task. And we also have the ability to create a new opportunity straight from our mobile device without having to go to the command website and log in to get that started. So our next function on the bottom is going to be a little person. It's right next to the house, and that is how we access our contacts. So as you can see at the top, I have contacts, or I have all contacts, leads, recently active, and smart views. Now I can access any of those to take a look at them. I can also click the three little dots. That's going to give me some additional functions. So the first one is select multiple. If I were to click on that select multiple, I then have the ability to select multiple contacts that are showing. I can either select all at the top. I can clear that. I can click just a few of them. And then once I do that, I have some functions that I can do straight from my phone. For example, at the bottom, I can add them to a smart plan. I can add a tag if I'm needing to do that. I also have the three little dots where I can click on that and do additional functions. The first one being adding an activity. Let's say that we ran into all three of these people at an event or an open house, and we want to add that interaction to their contact card. That we can stay on top of all of the interactions we've had with these contacts, and we know when the last time we communicated with them was. So if we were to add activity, it's going to allow us to select what type of interaction we had, the date that that occurred, and also add a quick description. So if there's additional details, and then I can go ahead and hit save. Now, other options when I'm clicking on those three dots is add a note. If you just need to add a simple note, it wasn't an interaction that you had or an activity, you can simply just add a note. And then you'll notice that I also have change account. Now, this one may not be available to you if you're not on a team. This is so that I can move those contacts into the team account if I needed to do so. And then lastly, I have merge contacts. Merge contacts should be available if I have two contacts selected. It will allow me to merge those contacts into one. For example, if they were duplicate contacts, you generally wouldn't want to do that for these two I have selected here. But if you had, if you had multiple people that were the same contact, you could select both of those and merge them straight from your phone. You also have the ability to import contacts from your phone. Now that is going to allow you to import them directly from your phone. You won't have to export and import. It's just going to directly upload them into your command account. You have the add with a QR code. This is if you were scanning something similar to your digital business card that has a QR for the contact, you could easily add them straight to your contacts. And then lastly, we have the ability to check for duplicates. This will scan all of your contacts in command to see if there are duplicate contacts. And once you've done that, it will allow you to then merge those like we were previously talking about, so that we can easily just remove a contact and create the duplicate. So I'm going to switch this to class here. Now, other things that you can do, you can, of course, what I just did, change your smart views if you have smart views saved. And I do see some questions in the chat. I'm going to get to those in just a second. We will get to those. I'm just going to get through these next few little steps. The other things that I have available here when I'm looking at contacts is I can, of course, call them, text them, send an email. I can also click into that contact card, and then I can view all of their details. So I can view tags. I can also add and remove tags directly here. If we scroll down just a little bit, one of my favorite parts is the neighborhood section. I can add and remove neighborhoods that they may be interested in or no longer interested in, so that I can easily send them market snapshots of what's going on in the neighborhood that they're interested in. We also have the rest of their contact information we can mess around with. Again, to call, text, or email. And then we have our little plus sign again where we can do some additional functions. So add an activity again and add a note. We can also create an opportunity. So if this contact has now called and said, I'm ready to move forward, we can go ahead and create that opportunity directly from our mobile device. We can also add a task if we have something that we talked about on our call or meeting, and I need to remind myself to go ahead and do another step. I can also go ahead and add them to a smart plan here. Up at the top, we also have the timeline. This is just going to show you all of the interactions you've had with this client, what you've done in the time that they've been in your contact card. We have opportunities. If we had any opportunities created, we could access those and edit those here. And then, of course, we have smart plans. Again, we can view the details. We can unsubscribe them. We can add new. So we'll see that we have the plus sign here where we can go ahead and add them directly to a smart plan. We have notes again where we can go ahead and add those as well as tasks. So that's all of the things that you can see within your contact card when you are on your mobile device. Real fast before we move to the next section, I'm just going to take a quick look at these questions here. There is not an option to download that QR code. You would need to take a screenshot of it in order to save that to your phone. Removing a contact here. I don't know if it gives you the option to delete a contact in the app. You can archive one though. If you are in the contact card, you'll notice those 3 dots do give you the option to go ahead and archive a contact. Google that. If you need to slow down or go back, you can always go back and refer to the recording. I do just want to make sure we have enough time to get through all of the content. So in some cases, we do have to keep going a little bit quickly. If you have questions as we're going through, please drop those in the chat. We should have time at the end for questions. If there's anything I missed or that you have additional questions on, we can definitely come back to this. Let's keep moving along. So our next icon at the bottom is going to be a little check mark and it kind of looks like a checklist. It's for your tasks that you have within commands. Now these are going to be the same ones you can view in your desktop. It's going to allow you to complete them, see if you have specific call or text tasks. You can check those out by clicking the dots. You can select multiple at the top. That will allow you to then reschedule them, or you can click the 3 dots and change the priority level of them. So if you need to move them from being a high priority level to a low priority level, you can of course do that right here from your mobile device. You can also click out of this. And it also gives you the option to archive those. So if the tasks are no longer relevant and you no longer need those, you can, of course, go ahead and archive those. Again, you do have the reschedule option. This will allow you to change the date that that specific task is due. You can select up to 50 tasks at a time within the Command mobile app in order to make adjustments to those with a reschedule or archive. So keep that in mind that you can do 50 at a time. You also have your plus sign down here, which will allow you to create a new task. Now, when you're creating a new task, you'll see it has a task name. You also have task type. This is if you're trying to identify if that is a call or text task. Also, if it's just something different other than those 2 options. You can create a description. You can add a hyperlink if you need something specific to refer to. You can set your priority level, and you can also select your due date. Now, in some cases, if this is a task that needs to be repeated, you can also select that repeat option and decide when that specific task needs to be repeated. So is this a daily task that you're trying to perform? Is this weekly or monthly, or is this just yearly? You can also select a custom repeat where you can decide when that needs to repeat. We're going to go ahead and go back. Now, as you can see, our next function is going to be notifications. Now, the notifications are going to be the exact same ones that are applied when you are in command. You can set what you're seeing or select what you're seeing. So what that notification is in regards to. Is this for consumers or contacts? Do you need to see your opportunity notifications? All of that, you can identify which one you need to see. You can also see your red notifications. So if you've already checked those, as you're looking at the notifications, you are going to notice you have 3 little dots where you can mark it as red. You can create a task. You can also manage your notification preferences. And then if you were to click on that task, actually it's not letting me because that one doesn't have one, but for some of these, you'll notice that they have additional hyperlinks. So go to opportunity, register now. Those are going to be additional hyperlinks that you could click on, and it's going to take you to another place within Command for that specific notification. Now you can mark all as red at the top. And then once we're in red, you can of course delete them if you want. You can also do the same thing by clicking the dots here, mark as unread, add a task, notification, and also delete that task when you're in the red side. Those are our tasks. Now, our next thing that we're going to take a look at is under the little lines on the far right side. We call it a hamburger because it's different layers. But when you click on that, you'll notice we have some additional functions here. So the first thing that we have is our opportunities. So that's where we're going to navigate to next. Now, once we are in our opportunities, you'll see that we have our various pipelines. We have listings, we have buyers, we have landlords and tenants. Now, when you're in your opportunities pipeline, this is also another place that you can manage what you're seeing. So if we click manage the layout, let's say we don't ever work with landlords or tenants, or if you're just a buyer's agent and you don't work with listings, you can click those little eyeballs to the right-hand side and you can hide those from being shown on your opportunities pipeline. So as you can see, when we hid those and marked save, we're now only seeing our pipeline for the listings and the buyers. Now, when we're looking at our pipeline, we do see all of our different stages and phases. And if we were to click into cultivate, you'll notice we still have all of those stages that are within that phase as well. So we have the cultivate, appointment, active, under contract. We also have the watch, and we can collapse that. We have all of our nurture opportunities, our hot, and we can collapse those and open them as we need to so that we're being able to quickly find what we're looking for. You can also, when these are open, you can collapse card. That will show a slightly smaller opportunity. So as you can see, right now it has the opportunity name as well as the contact name. If we collapse that in the top right, it's going to just simply show the opportunity name for that specific opportunity. Now we do also have the ability to click into that opportunity where we can then see our client updates. We can see our key information. We can view tags, ownership, all of that other information for the opportunity details that we would still be able to see from our opportunity in command. You have the task section as well as the notes. So if you have upcoming tasks for this specific opportunity, you would see those here. If we go back, you will notice when we're looking at these cards as well for the opportunity, you have the little check mark and the task list right here where it says 0/9. We can click on that and it's also going to show us those tasks within that opportunity. So if you're wanting to just have a shortcut, you can of course do that as well. Now, when we're looking at the opportunities here, we do have 3 dots where we can email them, view the contact, we can make edits. We can also archive that opportunity if it's no longer a active, valid opportunity. Now you also can still drag and drop the same as if you were on a computer. So those 6 dots to the far left-hand side, those will allow you to drag those if you hold down on them. It will allow you to drag those into the different stages. It will also allow you to come up and drag them into the different phases. So if we just drop it right there, it's going to move them into the active section. It's then going to move us to the active section and say that the opportunity was moved. You'll see that it did have an undo option in the event that that was done by mistake. But you can also click on all of these different phases at the top, view what opportunities you have in there, drag and drop them. You'll also notice we do have the plus sign again. This is going to allow you to create a brand new opportunity. The same as the other places that it showed you could create one, but you can also create it right here when you're in the opportunities section. If we go back, same thing for buyers, it's going to look exactly the same. We have expand and collapse. We have those 3 dots to do the same functions, and then it's still going to be the drag and drop to move those opportunities where they belong within the pipeline as you are moving them. It's just really great that this is now able to be done straight from your phone. Whereas a year or so ago, this was not something that was available just yet. Now, once we're done, we also have the all section. This is where you can view all of your opportunities, whether they're closed, archived, etc. You can search for them. You also have the filter option where you can find those based on specific filters that you're looking at. And then lastly, we have closing soon. This is going to give you an idea of what is coming up, what opportunities you have there closing within the next 7, 30, 60, 90, and more than. So you can, of course, view all of that information right here as well. Just going to take a quick look at the chat. Yes, there are options to call and text. They will use your mobile device to do that, though, unless you have a specific app that you're using. For example, if you're using WhatsApp or something like that, it will allow you to decide if you're using those or just your mobile number. If we have time at the end, we can try to take a look at showing the importing contacts, but we do have a video that goes over that in greater detail that you can also take a look at. Moving back to our little hamburger, we have the map as our next function. So the map is going to allow you to get very specific with where you're searching for properties. So if we're looking in Dallas, we can find the specific neighborhood that we're interested in. And we can click on that neighborhood. Now, once we do that, we can see that we have the option to share that neighborhood. Now that will give us, we can add it to a contact by clicking those 3 dots. So if we have a contact that has mentioned they're interested in that area, we can quickly add that. We can also just go ahead and share that information with them. Now by sharing that information, it is going to give you the statistics as to what's going on in that neighborhood, the active listings. It's just going to really give you the neighborhood update that's kind of sent in the neighborhood nurture. It's going to give them all of the information on that specific neighborhood and what's going on. Now you can turn off or on locations if you'd like to. You can also just search for a specific area. Again, by typing that you want to search that area or just by finding it on the map. We can share. That's going to allow us to text that. It's going to allow you to text, email, any other function you can do from your phone. It's going to allow you to do that by clicking that share option. That should give us the option to view it. Let me see if I can find one that lets us view what that looks like. Give me 1 second here. Do it like this. So if I'm going back into the contact card, not to backtrack, but to show you guys what that neighborhood looks like. When we come in here and we add and remove on a contact card itself, we can of course remove these extra ones if we want to, but once we have those neighborhoods selected, we can also click view details. And it's going to take us to the website where we can view the information on that specific neighborhood. So this is kind of what I was talking about. It allows you to view market, properties, school and transit. If we keep going down, it allows us to search that area. It has the market summary, which has the average listing price, current listings, average days on market. You're also able to see what locals say. You have the market snapshot again with more information on the active listings and recently solds. If we keep coming down, we can also search for properties in that area. And when we do that, we can see active, pending, upcoming open houses. If you just have someone that's not 100% ready, but they like to check out open houses, they can view that. They can check out recently sold. Let's say it's a a seller that's potentially looking to sell, they can kind of keep an eye on what's in their area that's selling. And they can, of course, check out any of these properties. If you go down a little bit more, it's going to give us nearby school information, so we can view that. You can click show more. And then if we keep coming down, you'll notice we have transit and commute. So this kind of gives you an idea of what's in the area and how close. More on nearby neighborhoods. So if they are interested in potentially neighborhoods nearby, but not this specific one, or maybe they're not finding anything in this one and they want to stay local, they can also check out those nearby ones. Now this should redirect them when they're clicking on that to your website. So like it did here, you're seeing that we're on the Scott Leroy KW website. When you're sharing that information from your phone, it should do the same and they will be redirected to your website. You can quickly, like I said, remove here by clicking that little minus sign. We can do that really fast. Just removes it right away. The three dots, again, view details or share. You can share that to them, text, email, etc. It's also going to recommend other nearby neighborhoods that may interest them. So you can also quickly just add those if those are interesting to them. And again, view and share. So let's go back. That is the map, so we really don't need to cover too much more there. Our next option is Quick or the KWIQ. Now this is available both on the desktop as well as your mobile device. This is just a quick place where you can come ask questions. You can learn more about real estate, more with KW. You can pretty much ask any question you'd like. It may or may not have an answer for you, but this is KW's version of AI. It will also allow you to view your history. It is prompting you with some questions that they generally see a lot of. So you could just come here and play around and ask one of these questions. We'll just click the top one so that we have an example of what that looks like. Let's see. It didn't really take my question, did it? Sorry about that clicking. I didn't realize my noise was on. We'll just ask the same question over and see if it gives us a different reply. Hopefully it does. So as you can see, it's providing us with a lot of really good information on how to track numbers, what you should track. And you can ask as many questions as you want. Like I said, it's going to learn the more that you're asking. You can also let it know if this response was helpful or not. And then, like I said before, you have the history option up there. We can remove questions that you previously asked or ask new ones. Our plus sign is, again, going to give us those prompts of other questions that are generally asked, where you can easily just click on those and check out what the quick has to say about them. So there we go. It's just giving us some more info. So we'll go ahead and click out of that. We'll go back to our home screen. Now the next one we have is command training. This is going to bring you, it's bringing me to answers and the command app. So this is going to allow you to find different articles that are going to help you learn more about the command app. So if you have questions beyond today's class and you don't feel like asking them, you can of course come here and check those out as well. And then lastly, we have our notification preferences. Having your command app on your phone is super important in my opinion, as well as having those notifications turned on both within the app and within your mobile device. The reason for that being is if you're getting a new lead, you do want to make sure you see that as soon as possible. And having those notifications on your phone, as well as having the app, are really going to allow you to make sure you're seeing those and getting back to them within a good amount of time. You can search for the notifications. You can also just click into each of them. It's going to allow you to, again, turn them on, off, in-app, and then push notifications. It will allow you to determine what all you want to see, what you don't. And you can go through that for each of the various sections of command. This is not only for the app, this will also adjust your notifications within the command desktop. So just keep that in mind. These two do talk, so command desktop as well as command app, they do communicate with each other. So any adjustments made in one or the other are going to reflect in both. We are getting through everything rather quickly today since there is not a ton of questions. So we have plenty of time for questions. So if you have any, definitely drop those in the chat. If there's something I skipped over or you'd like to see a little bit more of, let me know. We can go back. I'm going to stop recording just so that way we can go through any questions you guys might have. And if you don't have any questions and you want to get some of your time back today, I do thank you so much for joining, and I hope that this video was helpful. Have a great day. I'm going to stop record.